David earns $122,000 a year as a software developer in San Francisco. On paper, his life looks like a success. A six-figure salary, a stable career, and years of experience. Most people would assume he's doing better than almost everyone around him. But David doesn't feel rich at all. In fact, he feels stuck. Not because he's wasting money on luxury, but because the basic cost of existing in San Francisco is swallowing his paycheck before he even has a chance to build wealth. David's reality, a high salary that still feels like struggling. David pays $3,400 a month for a small one-bedroom apartment. It's not a luxury place, it's not even particularly nice. It's just what rent costs in a high-demand city. After federal taxes, California state taxes, and payroll deductions, David's take-home pay is around $6,200 a month. That means rent alone eats more than half of his income before groceries, transportation, bills, or anything else. By the end of the month, David manages to save about $400, sometimes less, sometimes nothing at all. At 31 years old, after 6 years of working, his net worth is basically a used Honda Civic and about $23,000 in retirement savings. He skips vacations, avoids big purchases, and still feels broke. And the most painful part is that he's exhausted, starting to realize that every raise he gets disappears into the cost of living. The Ryan comparison. Same career, completely different outcome. Now compare that with Ryan, David's former college roommate. Ryan has the same kind of job, the same education, and a similar career path. The difference is that Ryan moved to Boise, Idaho. Ryan earns $94,000 a year, almost $30,000 less than David, but his rent is only $1,400 a month for a comfortable two-bedroom apartment with laundry and parking. His groceries cost less, his taxes are lower, and life is simply cheaper in every way. Because of that, Ryan saves nearly $1,800 a month without doing anything extraordinary. Ryan already has over $130,000 invested and recently put a down payment on a home. David makes more money, but Ryan is getting rich. That's not a paradox, that's geography. The truth about salary: a dollar isn't worth the same everywhere. $100,000 in Manhattan is a completely different financial reality than $100,000 in Memphis. Wealth isn't about what you earn, it's about what your income can actually buy. According to cost of living data, San Francisco is roughly 80% more expensive than the national average. New York is similar, and Los Angeles is about 50% higher. Meanwhile, cities like Oklahoma City, Indianapolis, and Kansas City are below the national average. That means the same paycheck can create two completely different lives depending on where you live. Purchasing power, the hidden difference between rich and broke. To understand how dramatic this is, think about purchasing power. If you earn $100,000 after tax in San Francisco, that money buys you what about $55,000 would buy in an average American city. Your effective wealth is nearly cut in half. But in a city that's 20% below average, that same $100,000 buys you what $125,000 would buy elsewhere. The spread between high-cost and low-cost locations isn't small, it's transformational. The same job, the same income, but one version of you is barely scraping by while the other version is building real wealth. The compounding effect: small monthly differences become millions. And the real danger is how this compounds over time. David saves $400 a month, while Ryan saves $1,800 a month. That difference doesn't feel huge in the moment, but if both invest their savings in index funds, earning an average of 8% annually, after 20 years, David ends up with around $236,000. Ryan ends up with over $1 million. The difference is more than $800,000. Ryan didn't work harder, didn't pick better investments, didn't get luckier. He simply lived somewhere cheaper. That is what his zip code is worth over 2 decades. The scary part: most people blame themselves instead of location. Here's the scary part: most people think the problem is them. They assume they need a higher salary, a better hustle, or a more aggressive investment strategy. But often the real issue is location. Every month you stay in a high-cost city for a job you could do elsewhere, you are paying a wealth tax that doesn't show up on any bill. It silently drains your future one rent payment at a time. Remote work changed everything. Expensive cities feel impossible to leave because they also feel necessary. San Francisco has tech jobs, New York has finance, Los Angeles has entertainment. These cities have convinced ambitious people that success requires being there. But remote work has rewritten the rules. Millions of people no longer need to live in the most expensive metros to earn a strong income. Many could keep their salary while cutting their expenses in half, but they never stop to run the math. Every extra year in a high-cost city can delay wealth building by a decade. International arbitrage, the extreme version of the same idea. Some remote workers have taken this even further through international geo-arbitrage. They earn American salaries while living in countries where the cost of living is dramatically lower. In Thailand, rent could be $700 instead of $3,400. In Mexico City, total monthly expenses might be under $1,000. That means someone earning $80,000 remotely could save $4,000 a month instead of barely breaking even. This is in theory. Tens of thousands of normal professionals are doing it right now. Your zip code is a financial decision. Your location is one of the most powerful wealth multipliers in your life. Income is hard to double. Investment returns take time. Spending can only be cut so far, but geography can multiply your purchasing power overnight. David and Ryan have similar careers. One will be rich, one will still be catching up. The difference is not intelligence or luck, it's where they chose to live. So here's the real question. Would you ever move for financial freedom? Comment yes or no below. And if this changed how you see money, lifestyle, and wealth, at the end of the day, this isn't really about San Francisco, Boise, or any one city. It's about understanding that wealth is not just about how much you earn, it's about how much of your income you actually get to keep. Your zip code can quietly shape your entire financial future, sometimes more than your job title ever will. The geography trap works because it feels normal. People assume struggling is just part of adulthood, that saving is impossible, and that they simply need to grind harder. But often, the real issue isn't effort, it's math. And once you see the math clearly, you realize that location is one of the biggest financial levers you can control. So before you spend another year feeling stuck, take a step back and ask yourself one simple question. Is the place you're living helping you build freedom or slowly keeping you trapped? If this video made you rethink how powerful geography is in personal finance, make sure to hit the like button because it really helps the channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos that break down money, wealth, and the hidden forces that shape your financial life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.